Welcome to Megapath Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today in the review room we're going to take a look at this Stranger Things action figure made by Mcfarlane Toys. This is Jim Hopper. Now, Hopper was released recently with 11, right over there, and we'll probably try to get a look at her in an upcoming video. Now, I'm testing this new camera I got. This is from the, it's on the cell phone. It does appear to be better than my original camera, so I might have to upload this straight from the camera. So let's dive right into this and make this as painless as possible. Look at that, Hopper, nice and crisp. They got this printing technology that is fantastic for some stuff, horrible for others. The biggest con with this figure, those eyes. I don't know what happened. First off, his left eye is in the upside down. So if it wasn't for how they look, where they're placed is just terrible. But look at how they look. I mean, when he was on the shelf for a few days while I was thinking about doing this review, it looked awful. His face was terrible. I mean, the sculpt is good. You can tell that's the actor under that sculpt or under that paintwork. However, I decided to pull out a NECA figure. Now here's an Evil Dead figure, and look at those eyes. It's really crisp, if I can focus. Really crisp up close, and then far away. It looks wonderful, given that's a little bit more of a cartoon look. But it looks terrific. Now here's a Walking Dead from the comic book, and she has eyes. She's got eyes in there. And Michonne looks gorgeous. This is one of the best Michonne figures they got out. And then here's Madison from Fear the Walking Dead, and she has eyes. And then here's Glenn. Glenn, a 10-inch figure, he also has eyes. It looks good up close, and it looks good far away. Hopper is not as lucky. He looks terrible, absolutely terrible. If they continue down this path, I really don't know if I'm particularly interested in collecting these. I just don't know if I can do it. Now, 11 looks a little bit better, but she's got bigger eyes, but it's still faded like that. So you could kind of see what they're going for, as if the eyes are glistening, a more realistic. I just really hope they fix that for the future releases. Anyhow, the rest of them is as good as it gets with Mcfarlane Toys. He comes apart at the waist. He's not supposed to, but he doesn't turn at the waist. I went to turn him, and his body comes right off. I'll show you before we end it, but he comes with a coffee mug, Rick Grimes' gun, and he comes with a holster that's built onto the figure. It's pliable, but it's got some great texture detail. And then the wrinkles, the folds in his clothing. Again, Mcfarlane Toys does a fantastic job. Now I have him sitting in this ridiculous pose just to show off some of the articulation. His head barely moves, but it does kind of move up and down, side to side. And you don't get that ugly bulge like you did with the Rick figure in his neck. There's no ugly bulge, really. His elbows don't bend more than that. I mean, they do a tiny bit, but that's because of the sculpt and where it's at. And they do swivel. His wrists actually bend a little tiny bit. Some of them, it clicks like it moves, and it moves just a hair. So there's not much articulation there. It does swivel at the knee, and it also bends at the knee. And he can sit down. His legs can go all the way forward, all the way back. And his ankles barely have any articulation at all. One really good thing is they got rid of these ugly black stands for Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead, and they gave us these. Wasn't that nice of him to get out of the way to show us the stand? Right here, just a circular base with Stranger Things. I think this is the way to go and get rid of some of these. However, that's one of the biggest complaints with Mcfarlane Toys. If they do get rid of this, it's going to be another thing they abandon in the middle of a series, and then the rest of the waves will be out of place without stands. So, you know, it is what it is. Maybe they can just change the color, give you a brick colored one. Anyhow, so back to Hopper. Here's how he comes apart. Let me show you real quick. I went to turn him at the waist, and he just came apart like that. Now, it's not really broken. A lot of the 5-inch figures did this. You could probably get glue, super glue, and just, it was probably glued to begin with, but it just came off. The glue got loose. So you just pop some glue on there and put him on. I'm not really going to glue him because it does fit in there snug, and then once you got it snug, you can actually have articulation now. You can turn them a little bit side to side. So I think that works. So if you do have the figure, if you want to take the chance, give him a little turn, a little tug. That's all I did. I did it one-handed, and he came right off. So go ahead and do that. and your hopper can stand for you. I think the focus is leaving hopper. So that's it. Here's a shot of him in the front. I do like the likeness. At certain angles, you can definitely tell it's the actor. I think the articulation is getting somewhat better. Well, it's actually a lot better compared to what they started with The Walking Dead. And then you have the sculpt work, the paint work, the folds, and the clothes. It is truly great. I don't know though. Once you're putting these on the shelf next to some of the NECA figures, and you have to understand, these used to be cheaper by a good amount, almost $10. They used to be $17.99. These Stranger Things are now $20 straight up, but the NECA ones are around $20 to $25. 30 for ones that come with a bunch of articulation and stuff like that. So once you have these sitting on the shelf next to some of the competitor figures, it really does, I don't know, it kind of highlights it for me, saying, Ronnie, do you want the ones with, you know, the better detail, or do you want to, yeah, I don't know how else to put it. I mean, if NECA made these and Mcfarlane made these, I would probably go with whatever NECA did. So it's kind of like, if you want Stranger Things, you have to buy from Mcfarlane. But I'm kind of at that point where it is okay, but it's only okay because it's a lot better than what they've been doing with the 7-inch line. The 7-inch line is not something that's up my alley. So if you love the 7-inch line, then that's definitely for you. But it's just not something that's for me. So when I say I don't like it, keep that in mind. It's not something that, when Mcfarlane Toys made the 7-inch line, he wasn't thinking of a fan like me. That's not something I'm interested in. I'm only buying this because I want to throw it on the Stranger Things shelf. And then here's 11 as well. She comes with, and Hopper was supposed to come with an alternate head. He doesn't. Here's 11. Face sculpt is kind of there in certain angles, but it's a bit off. She comes with an ego, different hands, a radio, bloody nose, and then this iconic outfit, and then she's got a wig. And there is other figures coming in 2018. You got Dustin, Lucas, Mike, Will, and the Demogorgon, which is a shame they're not releasing a 7-inch Demogorgon to go with these figures. They're releasing a 10-inch Demogorgon, which will be this series. And if you put them side by side, yes, the Demogorgon is bigger, but you have to understand, look at the difference. The Demogorgon's legs and body and head will be massive. It won't fit, put it that way. So I don't know why they're releasing the 10-inch ahead of the 7, but I do have hope they will release the 7-inch soon. The 7-inch Demogorgon, that's something I probably will get no matter what, all depending on how it looks. Even if there's some flaws, because that one I'm the most excited about. Again, I'm in it for the monsters mainly. The monsters, zombies, the horror guys. I mean, I love those. I love how they look. But I love Jim Hopper as a character. I love 11 as a character. So to throw them up on the Stranger Things shelf, and you can even keep them in the packaging. They got this really cool retro packaging. Here's my mini office. Oh, hold on. I think I got snagged on the cord here, but here's my Stranger Things. Someone was kind enough to send me some, Ricardo sent me some art, and then I got Elle and the Demogorgon to go under the art. I'm going to get this set up. I didn't do anything with it yet. I just kind of set it here. So we have Dustin's signed hat. He signed that. We got the Blu-ray box here just because I love the way it looks. And then we're going to have the Stranger Things stuff. Anything that's Stranger Things that me or my daughter has, if it's something she's not going to play with, that's kind of like a little trinket she gets, we're just going to throw everything. Ooh, I elbowed her in the head as I was saying that. We're just going to throw everything on the shelf, right? That's our Stranger Things shelf.
Yep.
So that's why I was excited to check out the Mcfarlane Toys Stranger Things stuff. However, right now it's kind of just like a 5 out of 10 in my book. So there you go. Check that out if you want to see what they got going on in the stores for Mcfarlane Toys Stranger Things. And good luck getting this guy to stand, because he has no ankle articulation whatsoever. So it's rough. It is rough. Let's get him to stand.
Elle looks really cool.
Yeah, she looks really cool. Come on. Come on, Jim.
But her eyes are kind of big.
You know what? Here, Juliet, how's this? Yeah, her eyes are pretty big.
I can put him in the pose.
Have him sit on that ledge. No, what is he, drunk? Have him sit. There you go. He's sitting drinking his coffee.